Welcome back, everyone. So in this video, I'm going to I'm going to answer, or reply to some comments from the last video because I thank you all. I really do. There was a lot of food for thought, a lot of really interesting views, a lot of interesting outlooks about the hobby. Yeah, I think it really was, or is a really good debate. So I'm going to start off with my first question, and that's to Joachim. I thought you was moving to Poland. Yes, Joachim, I am moving to Poland. You can see all my stuff's, it's all boxed up under there. The only thing I've got to take down is basically this section of layout, which I'm obviously leaving for the moment, just to keep literally my channel on tick over, which is probably not so interesting in the short term, but once I move, I've got a good, decent space to work with. So I'm just going to move forward. In the second part of this video, my new releases come from Piko, and pretty happy with it. Just bear with me. And it's just there, T669 of the Czechoslovakia, and we'll have a closer look at that very shortly. Obviously, if you guys don't want to listen to this first part, you can skip ahead and get straight onto the, not really an unboxing, not really a first impression, it's just a literally a look-see at this. I did kind of like, my local shop is in Germany, which is Modelbahn Shop Lippy, and they give you 3% cash back on all your purchases. I kind of saved mine up, and I saved mine obviously till the end of the year, and this was obviously put towards this item, so it was, a good chunk of change off it. Obviously there was a few other bits that was put in there, but I used all my bonuses basically. And obviously importing from EU, if you stay under the £135, you're going to get it, customs free, tax free, VAT free, and everything else. So it is about a little bit shopping smart. It is a good move that I did, going from OO to HO, in my opinion. So let's get on with it. A few comments was about obviously space. Now, I'm lucky enough that obviously I'm ex-army, and the army built this man cave for me, which is 20 foot long and 10 foot wide. So I do have some space. I consider myself very lucky that the army stepped in and built this for me, because there's just no way I would have room for anything more than the shelf layout in my house. So yes, in the UK, unless you're going to build a shed or go in the loft, you're kind of really limited on your space. Hence why a lot of Polish, they kind of set their layouts on their living room floor. It must be a pain in the backside to set up every time, but obviously once they're done, they put it away. So that, that kind of answers really that comment. The other comment, I kind of really, I'm trying to find words for this. The word, excuse me, the word stigma. Yeah, that it is a big thing surrounding this hobby. Who's to blame for that? Excuse me. Yeah, I've got no answers for that really. you know, I know people say, you know, if a youngster comes into the hobby, he'll keep it quiet because, you know, he doesn't want any backlash from his schoolmates or whatever. I get that. I understand that. Me personally, and it is only me, because of my situation, and for those that have joined the channel, basically, you know, that's all I've got to work with on both hands, basically. You know, and I'm missing my feet. Obviously, I don't like to advertise that on every single video and everything else, but, you know, I'm at the point where, and I apologise for the swear word, I don't give a fuck. I really, I don't care what people think of me anymore, because, you know, I'm just in this situation where people will look and stare at me anyway. So, you know, to me personally, it doesn't bother me. You know, it's like, oh, you're into model railways. Oh, you know, yeah, and it's just a hobby I've enjoyed since I was a child. Now, the thing that I do want to make a point on about this hobby is I think the fun factor has disappeared, like really, really disappeared. You know, I try and do my little bit with my let me just push him over a little bit with my good friend Plastic Man. I know, Ed, I know you don't like him. But yeah, I'm just joking, Ed. But, you know, I try and, yeah, it's just bringing a little bit of fun factor into the hobby. You know, because there is this cult, this stigma around the hobby, and yeah, I don't like it, because any hobby at all is should be something that you enjoy. It should be fun. You know, whether it's a coin collection, a stamp collection, you know, playing golf or whatever it is, you know, the main reason for a hobby is because you enjoy it, you know. The other thing that I wanted to say was, you know, as in regards to basically model shops, manufacturers, you know, I'm just going to make an example now, and it is purely an example. Say Bachmann sells a Class 37 at £200. It's just an example. So straight away, on £200, there's £40 tax on that. So that reduces it to £160. Now, obviously, they've got their production costs and, you know, everything else, you know, and they're a business at the end of the day. They need to make a profit. So, yes, inflation is massive. But, you know, I don't think so much the manufacturers are at fault with their costs, because they got to make a profit, and obviously model shops have got to make a profit and everything else, you know. And from £160, there's, you know, when you take out all the production stuff, you know, and shipping a container from China, you know, it's gone from $2,000 to $8,000. You know, it's all about inflation at the end of the day. There's nothing that we can do about that. Yes, I totally agree that a lot of these model shops, as part of that, Rails of Sheffield, there's a lot of other shops, you know, Hampshire Models, you know, they want 60 quid for a PKP double decker, you know, an old one, you know, old hobby range one. You know, I can go to Model Barn Lippy and get one for 35 quid new. Hobby range PKP double decker. I don't need to be paying 60 quid from, you know, just because it's in the UK. I know we got the whole rip off Britain. So, yeah, the model shops have took the P basically, you know, in regards to the prices. I know what they want to give, you know, they're after stock. So they'll give a good price to Fred Blogs, you know, and then they'll put their markup on, and you know, and that's what they'll sell it at. Just, it's got out of hand. It really has. The second-hand market is just absolutely crazy. And, you know, even for Hornby's Railroad and, you know, Piko Hobby Range, you know, the cheaper range model railways, and I'll come on to that as well. You know, another part of the comment was, you know, about obviously modelers wanting more. Yeah, I'm to blame for that as well. You know, every single one of us really, because, you know, yes, we want more details. We want more details. We love details. Look at the details, beautiful details. You know, yeah, yes, we all want, I suppose, more for our money, but you know, Piko, I'm just using Piko because they're in front of me. You know, Piko go, I give you these super, oh, I don't know why I've turned into a Frenchman, but, you know, I give you these super details, but they cost you 100 franc more, you know? I don't know, I just, sorry about the really bad impression, but, you know, you get what I'm trying to say, that it's okay crying out for more detail, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. You know, sound is going to cost you. And, you know, people will look for, you know, I don't know if you guys remember that black ES64, the PKP one, the ICC one I did a short on. Yeah, the black one. Cost me €64. Hobby range. And the details on it, you know, 4 pantographs and all the rest of it, absolutely amazing. €64. You know, it's like £52 or something, you know? Okay, I had the tax taken off and everything else, but they, you know, sort of, if you forget the tax, I got it for, you know, literally for 52 quid, you know. And I'm okay with a hobby range, you know. I think most of us have, you know, we've wanting maybe too much, you know, and we all can't afford that. I've got, this year, I'm going to mention once again Anthony Dodge, because on his video, and I had him up quite loud on his Piko 2024 new releases. Now, I've ordered 2 Locos, and that's it. You know, that's all I'm getting this year. Because he was on quite loud. My missus could hear him in the next room. And I was building this model. Just bear with it, guys. And he was like, oh, and here we got, and he mentioned me a few times. I mean, he said, oh, and here we got some nice PKP green coaches. You know, I really think Mark would like these. And yes, I do, Anthony. But all I heard my missus say in the back room was, it ain't going to happen. You can forget about it, you know. And obviously we did some discussions, and, you know, I've ordered two Locos from the 2024 range, and they're at the end of this year. You know, they're not due out to the end of this year, so I've got plenty of time to save money. I've not got the sound with them or anything like that, just literally basic Locos, because I feel like I'm getting priced out of this hobby, you know, slowly but surely. And you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. It's proper expensive. So I've kind of answered as much as I can really in regards to comments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this straight on track. I brought this up. This was actually what I was building when I was listening to Mr. Dodge in this 2024 range, even though I was kind of more fixated because of the amount of Eastern European stuff that's come out. I'm trying to be neutral and impartial. It's a Volma kit. I had a few issues with it. You can just see the gaps at the top there, it's due to these end plates. You can just see at the top there's a millimetre gap that runs down. Obviously, I tried with all my might to try and push that over the top. There's certain things that just it doesn't just quite. It's a millimetre out here and there, and you know, it's not a case of a bad workman blaming his tools. It didn't go together as well as I would have liked, you know, but the results is okay, and it's all to do with revamping that station area in time. So yeah, it's okay. I might have to take off a little bit off that web rail. I wanted it quite grimy, just because obviously it's going to fit in with the whole, you know, background of the station and stuff. But so that's that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this on track. I hope you guys kind of understand obviously where I'm coming from. It was really a good debate, so let's get this on track, and yeah, let's take a look. Okay, T669, which is pretty much very similar to a SM31 PKP of the Polish Railways. This is a T669 of the Czechoslovakian Railways. You can tell, obviously, it's got the red star there from communist times, and obviously Poland was part of that communist bloc at one point, and they're better off now, I'm sure, but they're no longer in that communist era. But I'm not here to do politics. I'm just here to have fun and enjoy the hobby, and hopefully you guys are here to do the same. Right, it does have sound. As I said, I used all my MSL cashback on this, so let's see if it was worth it. And there's no point me pressing buttons because I haven't switched the Alpha Central on. Just bear with me. Right, we're all switched on. Let's have a look at it. Like I said, I'm not here to do a review. I'm no good at them. So I'm just here to show you what a T669 is. A genuine model of an Army locomotive, which I'm saying is now on loan to the Polish Railways. So let's actually press the right button, shall we? And we'll go through, hopefully. We're on the tick over there. And the same to you. See lights on. Just trying to press the button. God, that's loud. Just go through in some functions. Just bear with me 1 second. Right. It's got a nice sound to it. Love it. And we're just going to change the direction, bring it back towards me. There's obviously a lot of functions on that I need to figure out. But yeah, so it's going to go well with my rake of Army stuff that I've got. I'm just waiting for it to go past because I'm not sure. I don't think this one, maybe it does, I don't know. I'll need to have a little play around later. Because my SN31 had dashboard lights inside. Yeah, I get, obviously, companies want to strive, you know, and build the best models possible, but obviously it all comes at a cost, always does. Yeah, this is really neat. I'm glad I obviously used my sort of cash back and saved it all up for this purchase, so it's really good. But it's just, there we go. But yeah, there's a lot of, obviously, food for thought in kind of, I suppose, the debate on the last video. You know, I have to take my hat off to Hornby in some respects, from, because that Simon did say he was trying to inject some fun into the hobby, obviously. With his advertisement, it had a bit of a sort of heavy metal music feel to it. He was onto something. I'll give him that. And like I said, I'm by no means a Hornby fan, but that's a different story. But Simon, and credit where credit's due, he was onto something with with his advertisement campaign of trying to get younger generation into the hobby. He got the right music. I think he was hitting the nail on the head, but then he had a pug kind of like, actually in the thing. I think he could have chosen a better loco for the actual advertisement itself, but he was on the right lines. I think companies do have to do more to try and get young people interested in this hobby, make this hobby cool again, show how fun that it can be. It doesn't have to be expensive. You've got your Aero range, which is absolutely fine from Hornby. You've got hobby range from Piko, again, is absolutely fine.
But obviously, that, you know, these cheaper models, they do sell out quite quickly. So I don't know. I'm just really saddened by the future for this hobby. I really am. You know, yes, the whole stigma around it. It has become a bit of a cult. Whether it's because of rivet counters and they're belittling people because, you know, and I'll use an example now. My tracks. Let me just show you just quickly. There you go. Please belittle me. I don't care. I don't. I've got insular frog points. Why? Because of my physical situation, and you know, it's just easier for me to wire up. You know, and that's why I've used insular frog points. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. Trains running slowly over across them, no stalls, nothing, just absolutely fine. You know, but you get your people that are going, oh, you're using insular frog points, that's children's points, that's for children. You know, no, it's not for children. It works absolutely fine. You know, I'm a technical dummy. You know, forget my physical situation. It just literally just it really infuriates me that, you know, these rivet counters are about. I know there's a few other channels that have had a tongue lashing off these people. Oh, you use this, or you've brought that, or whatever, you know. Hell, so literally, so what? You know, I honestly, just does it really matter, you know? Because, you know, it's just like, again, you know, we have to conform to what these people, and if you want to call them rivet counters, it's fine, but, you know, what these people, you know, want, basically. So, like I said, I'm at a stage in my life that this is a hobby. I'm here to challenge myself because of my physical situation. And I'm here to have fun. I'm here to enjoy the hobby. And I really hope that, you know, and if, you know, younger generation feel the need to keep it a secret that they're into model railways, you know, so be it. But I don't think anyone should be bullied because of their, you know, choice of hobby. You know, I don't think there's any room for any bullying on this planet anymore anyway, but that's just me. Well, I'm going to stop waffling because I've probably said way too much for way too long. But, you know, there's a lot more to, obviously, this whole situation, but I'm just going to leave it there. Hopefully you've took something away from these last two videos, and let's just hope, you know, for the future of this hobby itself, because it's a great hobby. Absolutely love it. So look after yourselves, and as a good friend of mine says, right, Anthony, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Is that how it goes? Look after yourself, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.